folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the 2018 Springdale SS 2606RL. The SS stands for the Summerland series. So as we take a look, you'll see this is a great couples coach. You have a couple of recliners here in the back, super slide with both your dinette and your sofa, private bedroom there up front, and you have some good kitchen space here too. So let's actually start off right in the back. You'll notice your two recliners right here. The way these essentially work, folks, you don't have like a rip cord or anything. What you do is you kind of put your hands on the armrest and just kind of push back, and then it'll go back just like that. So you can have it here where it's kind of an incliner where you're still sitting upright but your feet are up, or, and not that I have enough room here because I'll hit the window, but you can actually push this backward to actually recline as well. Right in between here, you have a little end table, so that way if you have a beverage or anything, you can set it right down there. You'll see that they didn't waste any space, and right inside here, they actually put your fuse panel. You'll see you'll have your breakers for your 110, your fuses over here for your 12 volts. You also have electrical outlets in the back, so that way if you need to plug in any kind of electronics while you're sitting here, you can do that. Beautiful rear picture window here out the back, folks. If you have a nice view out the back, whether it's oceanfront, lakefront, or whatever else you may enjoy, you can open that window up and enjoy that. If nothing else, folks, at least it lets in a lot of natural light there. You also have LED lights throughout here, so that way if it's nighttime, you need some light in here, you can obviously turn those on. And then going across the top, you have storage. Right over here on the side, you will notice you have an additional window there again to help let in some of that natural light. As I had previously mentioned, right over here you have the super slide. You have windows all the way around, not just on the slide itself here, but actually on the sides of the slide as well, which is a little more rare. You'll see you have your sofa right here. Cool thing about this drops down right here in the center. So you have kind of an armrest as well as some cup holders there. Kind of turns it into almost like a pseudo theater seating. And then this is a jackknife sofa as well. So you can lift this up, see all the storage there underneath, which is great for extra bedding and other large items. And then that does drop down into a bed. You'll notice storage here up top. So if you need to store anything up there, they don't waste any space. And over here, you'll notice that instead of having the storage, they have the big window. I actually had someone ask me this as a question the other day as far as why most manufacturers don't put storage here. And it's a couple reasons. One is they want a bigger window to let in natural light, because this is generally the place you'll be looking outside most often is here at the dinette. And probably more importantly than that is because it's a head knocker. If you have storage right here, whoever sits on the inside, they have to contend with that storage the entire time. So usually they don't put storage above your main eating space. So as I mentioned, big window there, another one here on the side, LED light. And if you notice right in between there, folks, you'll also see that you have a couple of USB ports. So, if you need to plug anything in right there, you can go ahead and do that. Again, if you need to charge any kind of electronics. This right here, this dinette does drop down. So if you need to turn this into a sleeping space, it can do that as well. You just remove the legs here in the table. Table itself sits along these rails, take the back cushions and throw it right on top. I've actually done this before. It doesn't work great for adults. It's kind of small, but I have done this before for my daughter when she was real young and in a pack and play. You can drop this down, and putting a pack and play right up here is great. That way it's out of your main walkway and it's still very sturdy. You don't have to worry about the child rolling off or anything. I flipped that light switch on just a second ago right beneath the USB ports. I did want to show you. You have some auxiliary lights right underneath the dinette, just helping give a little extra pop and flare. Now if we take a look right up here, this is your entertainment center. You'll notice the sticker right here, so you know exactly where to mount the TV. Your hookups, electrical outlet of course over to the side, the speaker selector. This will tie into the multimedia center, so you can select the speakers inside or outside. And that multimedia center, folks, is right here. Cool thing about this is it also is Bluetooth capable. So if you have music on your phone, or maybe if you just downloaded the latest Stories from the Road podcast, you can connect to that via Bluetooth and be able to listen to it. Right down underneath here, you'll see extra storage. You'll have that on both sides. You'll notice that there. Not super deep, but again, it is still very usable storage. Maybe a great spot for like a DVD collection. And then right up top here, you have a little more. Now right up front is the master bedroom. We'll go up to that in just a moment, but first I want to complete our living area here. You'll notice your thermostat is right over here. You have, of course, your fan control. This one, as you'll see, does control your ducted heat as well as the AC. So we take a step into the bathroom here. You'll see right down below you have your foot flush lever toilet. I will take a seat there just to kind of give you an idea. I'm a pretty wide guy in the shoulders, so for me, in all honesty, it is a little tight between the countertop and the wall here, but for most people, it probably won't be an issue. I do, however, have more than sufficient legroom. Over here to the side, you have this big countertop space right over here. I like that they do this. Most of the time, you don't have that. It just kind of cuts off right here. But this gives you a good spot to put, your soap or your toothbrush holder. You need to set like a curling iron down. You can do that. Electrical outlet, of course, right next to that. You also have the mirrored medicine cabinet there up top. And you have some storage right down here underneath. You can see that underneath the sink. And then you have the cubby hole right over here to the side. Now, right over the front here is your tub shower. I'll stand in here as well, folks. Again, just to kind of give you an idea, I'm 6 foot. As you can see, I do need this extra vent. If you're, 6'2", 6'3", you're probably going to have to bend over a little to be able to shower in here. But other than that, you do have some decent space to be able to turn around because it's a curtain rather than a door. And it is a tub, so that way if you have kids or grandkids that need to take a bath, you can do that here. The hand wand does make showering a little bit easier. And then you also have the shelf right over there to the side. Now, right over here, of course, is the kitchen. You'll see that the fridge freezer here, the wood panels match the rest of the cabinetry. And then as we open that up, you can see you have plenty of space in there too, cut out for some taller items. This unit does run off both propane and electric and also has automatic switchover. Coming a little bit further in, you'll see you have the microwave up top, your hood right underneath. That has both a light and fan. Right up top here, some more storage. And then if we take a look underneath that, you'll see an LED light right here. Of course, our window there and 2 electrical outlets. I like the fact that there's 2. It gives you a couple different options as far as where you want to put your coffee maker, plug in your toaster, blender, whatever else you may need to plug in. Your water heater is right over here. It is a Suburban water heater. What you'll notice is that you have controls for both gas and electric. You can turn on both those at the same time for faster recovery. And then directly underneath that, you have your tank monitoring panel as well as your water pump control. Now here is your cooktop. It's Furion cooktop. I like the fact that they give you a glass top so you can utilize this as prep space. If you need to use it, you just kind of pop this up and back. It is spring loaded, so it stays right there as it should when you lift that up. Cool thing about this too, folks, is that the glass is easy to clean and kind of doubles as a backsplash. When you lift that up though, you'll see the 3 burners right there. All your controls right over here for your burners, as well as this is your spark igniter. And then right over here is the control for your oven. Speaking of that, we'll drop the door down and you can see the oven right there. Right over to the side here underneath the sink, a little bit extra storage. You do have enough room there for a trash can if you want to put one there. I always appreciate when manufacturers do that. Cubby hole right here. You'll see your large single basin sink. I have a lot of people that debate over this, whether you want a single bowl or a split bowl. It all kind of depends on the appliances you use, and they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, if you want, your standard wash and rinse in your sink here, you can just go to the dollar store, buy like a little plastic tray, set it in there. I've done that several times. It works really well. The cool thing about having the single bowl though is you can fit some larger pots and pans in there. So if you're using residential cookware, you can actually fit them here in the sink. Whereas if you have a split bowl, they're half hanging out, they don't fit in there very well. Plus, they also give you the high-rise faucet, which does make washing dishes a little bit easier. You'll see this kind of comes out, gives you this little countertop extension here, a little more prep space. You have your pull-out drawer here. Never mind that plastic. We'll just remove that. But you can see there you have a drawer, so that way you have a spot to put all of your flatware or other utensils. Right down underneath that, you'll notice some storage there too. And then lastly, as we come right around the other side here, open this up. As soon as you walk in, you have that storage space right there. Now, if you don't want the trash can, in the kitchen, you can put it right there too. That way it is a nice, easy exit with the bag. Personally, though, I'd probably use this for shoe storage because I hate having my shoes, kind of clogging up the entryway here. But again, you can obviously do whatever you'd like. As we open this guy up, you'll see that's full of carpet squares for some reason. But good storage here. Same thing with this one right there. If nothing else, it does give you a spot, if you're using your camping cookware, that does give you some decent spots in order to store those. As we step into the master bedroom here, you'll see the queen bed right there in the center. It does have storage underneath. You can lift it up just like so, and you'll see that you have room for some larger items. You also have a window on both sides. The one side is an emergency exit. However, if you'd rather a standard exit, you do have that right here. I do like having a second door in the bedroom for this floor plan because if you do have guests that are sleeping out in the main living area, you can enter and exit without disturbing them. And then if we take a look here at the headboard or the front of the bed, you'll see that you have storage on both sides. You have great hanging storage there. So, nice little wardrobe either side of the bed. You have the shelf going across the top, and that has an LED light on the bottom of it. And then on both sides, you have kind of like this nightstand space here. If you have a CPAP machine, you have plenty of room. You have electrical outlets there. If you have, little furry loved ones that want to sleep next to you and they can fit here, you can do that too. This side over here is pretty cool. You actually do have this clothes hamper. It's all lit up because as you can see, it goes right into the pass-through. But what you'll do is you just put your laundry basket down there and then you can just toss your dirty clothes right in there. As we step into the master bedroom here, you'll see the queen bed right there in the center. It does have storage underneath. You can lift it up just like so, and you'll see that you have room for some larger items. You also have a window on both sides. The one side is an emergency exit. However, if you'd rather a standard exit, you do have that right here. I do like having a second door in the bedroom for this floor plan because if you do have guests that are sleeping out in the main living area, you can enter and exit without disturbing them. And then if we take a look here at the headboard or the front of the bed, you'll see that you have storage on both sides. You have great hanging storage there. So, nice little wardrobe either side of the bed. You have the shelf going across the top, and that has an LED light on the bottom of it. And then on both sides, you have kind of like this nightstand space here. If you have a CPAP machine, you have plenty of room. You have electrical outlets there. If you have, little furry loved ones that want to sleep next to you and they can fit here, you can do that too. This side over here is pretty cool. You actually do have this clothes hamper. It's all lit up because as you can see, it goes right into the pass-through. But what you'll do is you just put your laundry basket down there and then you can just toss your dirty clothes right in there. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the Springdale SS 2660RL. Right up front here, folks, they give you a power tongue jack. This makes it super simple and easy to hook up and disconnect from the tow vehicle. Just flip of a switch here to raise and lower the tongue. You'll also see you have a light right here. Flip that on in case you're hooking up or disconnecting at night. Provides a little extra vision at night. Directly behind that, you have your 220-pound propane tanks with the cover. Just undo these two thumb screws, lift up the door, and that will get you down and in. And then behind that, yet a little bit further, you have rails there for your battery. There is enough space if you want 2 batteries, you can put 2 there. Coming up the front, and this comes up pretty high, you will notice the diamond plating here, which helps protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And new for 2018, you'll see right here, Keystone does have a 3-year structural warranty on their products. That is the current industry leader for the structural warranty, so you can definitely feel good about the product there. If you take a look at the pass-through, you'll see it is a good size pass-through here. It does cut off just a tiny bit on the other side there, but again, the majority of it is quite open, so you can still fit some larger items, especially here on this side. Right down underneath, you will notice this, folks, that is power stabilizer jack. So not only do you have a power tongue jack, you also have power stabilizer jacks. That way, once you are parked, you can go ahead and use those to stabilize the camper. Now, please remember, this is not auto level on here, folks. You already want to have your camper level. This will just help stabilize the camper so it's not rocking as people are walking around inside. Dual entrance here. This is your secondary entrance right into that master bedroom I had showed you. The back one is your main entrance, and that goes into your rear living area. Power awning on here as well. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to go right back in. You also have an LED light strip on there. Folks, we're trying to make it easy. Power tongue jack, power stabilizer jacks, power awning. It really is much easier than when I was growing up. You'll also see you have a couple speakers there, so that way if you want to listen to music while you're out here, you can. As I mentioned, that's controlled by that multimedia center in there. You have that little knob to control. You either go from the inside speakers, outside speakers, or both at the same time. Outside shower here too. This does have both hot and cold water access. If you take a look at the underbelly here, you will see that this one also has a fully enclosed underbelly. So that way it'll help keep some of the rodents out and some of the road grime as well when you're going down the road. That way it's not kicking up underneath your trailer. We take a look right up top here, you'll see you have a dual electrical outlet, so if you need to plug anything in, that is a great spot to do it there. As I mentioned, this one here is the main entrance, and then right next to that you also have your rear power stabilizer jacks. This one will control the back two, that front one of course was for the front two. Making our way around the very back, never mind the pieces of wood, that's just so we have feet for the stabilizer jacks, but right here is your square tubular bumper. We do have end caps, that way you can put your sewer hose in there. Attached to that is your spare tire. Now yes, this does take up some bumper realty, so if you want to install like a grill back here, maybe a bike rack, you may have to take this off. But I do like the fact it is here because this is probably the easiest place to get to it. You don't have to get down on your hands and knees in the event that you have to use it. Kind of off to the side here is your 30 amp power cord. And if we take a look up above, you'll see the beautiful rear picture window I talked about when we were inside. You can see how big that is. You'll also notice how the windows on the bottom here do open. And if you look up in the top in the center there, you will also notice that this one has backup camera prep. So that way, if you do want a backup camera, having the prep makes it a lot easier to install, meaning it'll also be cheaper to install. Then right over here is your cable inlet if you have cable at the campground. Right down here in front of your axles is your termination. You will see both your gray and black tank valves are located there. And lastly, folks, as far as your water hookups, those will be right here up front. The first one here is to fill your fresh tank. The one right behind it is, of course, for city water. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2018 Springdale SS or Summerland Series 2660 RL. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.